So beginning our practice, sitting on our mats, cross-leg kneeling, whatever your preference may be. Just settling into this space, tilting your pelvis forwards, lengthening through the spine, rolling shoulder blades backwards, and closing your eyes. Just taking a moment to focus on your breathing, bringing your attention, your awareness into your breath. Normal, natural breathing. Just feeling the movement of your body as you breathe, where you're breathing into and where you're breathing from. Feeling your body expand and soften as you breathe in and breathe out. Shifting your attention, your awareness away from thoughts, away from thinking, as you come into your body, tuning into the physical. Feel the weight of your body. Be present to how you're feeling now. No thoughts need thinking about, and there is nowhere else to be. Taking control of your breath, breathing in deeper. Deep belly breathing in and out through the nose. Breathing with the whole of your body. Feel your body expand with the inhale. Soften, release with the exhale. Deeper inhales, longer exhales. Every inhale, breathing in deeper than the last. Every exhale, clearing all the breath out of the lungs. Use your abdominals. Use your core as you breathe. And so to begin our practice, we will start with Tomo Pranayama, the Wim Hof breath. So for this breath work, it's a deep breath in through the nose, fill the belly, fill the lungs, and then as we exhale, out through the mouth. So deep inhale, as deep as you can. Every exhale, quick, just getting the breath out through the mouth, ready for another inhale. So round after round, it's like this. Keep going until I say stop. When I say stop, deep breath in, complete exhale. We're then going to hold the exhale for as long as we can, with all our focus, all our attention inside the body, just observing what the breath work has done for us inside of us. So, settling onto your mats, tilting the pelvis forwards, lengthening through the spine, rolling the shoulder blades backwards, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Keep it going. Deep breath in. Total exhale. And hold. Lungs are empty. Focus inside the body. Staying in the stillness. No thoughts need thinking about. Just feeling. Just observing. Wrestling that urge to breathe. Holding the breath for a little bit longer. And when you can no longer hold your breath, coming back into deep yogi breathing. Deep belly breaths, breathing in and out through the nose. As you settle back into your breath, just setting the intention that for the whole of your practice, you'll continue breathing in this way. Using every inhale to connect to your body, breathing in deeper. Every exhale, releasing, letting go. So when you're back in your breath, opening your eyes. Just placing both of your feet on your mats in front of you. Placing the backs of your hands on the outsides of your ribs, and then tucking your elbows on the insides of your thighs. Walking your feet closer. Deep breath in as you exhale, trying to squeeze your elbows towards each other, bringing the elbows closer. Every inhale, breathing into that tension, that tightness, whatever you're feeling in your shoulders, your arms, and your back. As you exhale, squeezing the elbows closer. Deep belly breaths. 2 more breaths. And releasing, placing your hands on the floor behind you. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Pressing down through the palms, locking the elbows in. Drawing your shoulder blades as close as you can, feet are hip width apart. As you inhale, lifting your hips as high as you can, coming to reverse table. So keep pressing down through the heels, pressing down through the hands, just looking at your knees. Otherwise, hanging the head, looking for the wall behind. If you're looking for the wall behind, then pushing through the chin, really opening through the throat, opening the whole of the front of your body. Pressing hard on the hands, pressing hard on the heels, lifting your hips even higher. 3 more breaths. And then looking back at your knees. As you exhale, swing your bum through your arms. Keep your bums off the floor, lock the knees in. As you inhale, coming back up, reverse table. As you exhale, swinging back through. And with your breath, keep it going. So inhaling up, nice and high, lifting through the hips. Exhaling, taking the bum back through, nice and strong in the arms, locking the knees in. 3 more breaths. And the next time you come up, taking the feet wider, walking the hands forwards, coming into Malasana, deep yogi squats. So elbows on the insides of the knees, bringing the palms together, bringing the hands towards the heart as you open through the chest, lengthening through the spine, pressing through the outsides of the feet and taking the knees wider. Using every breath. Keep some pressure on the heels, keep the legs nice and strong. Taking the knees wide as you lengthen through the spine. Every breath. Down through the body, down to the hips. Every exhale, staying in the space. Two more breaths. Then peace fingers around your big toes. You straighten the legs, come to a forward fold with your feet mat width apart. So legs as straight as they can be without knocking the knees in. Tilting the pelvis forwards, softening through the spine,
Breathing space between every vertebrae as you hang out of your hips. Keep pressing through the outsides of the feet, so your arches are going to slightly lift, but press all your toes back down to your mats. Again, push on the knees back, but not locking the knees in. Just legs as straight as they can be. Tilting the pelvis forwards, hanging out of the hips. Breathing into the lower back, breathing into the hips. Softening through the spine. Two more breaths. And releasing your toes nice and slowly, stacking the spine. So slowly coming up and standing, coming into Tadasana, mountain pose. So big toes together, small gap between the heels, straightening through the legs, lengthening through the spine, rolling shoulder blades back towards each other, palms facing the front. Deep belly breath in. As we exhale, the hands come together. Inhaling, reaching up to the ceiling, deep belly breath. As we exhale, swan dive to a forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, the right foot steps back, come to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kicking back to plank. As we exhale, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. As we inhale, standing up to cobra, pressing hips down, lifting shoulders. As we exhale, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the right foot between the hands. Exhaling, left foot between the hands. Inhaling, reach up to the ceiling, pressing down through the heels. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. And again, breathing in. As we exhale, the hands come together. Inhaling, long through the sides of the body, pressing down through the heels. Exhaling, swan dive to a forward fold, hands on the floor. Inhaling, the left foot steps back, comes to runner's lunge. Holding the breath, kicking back to plank. As we exhale, knees to the floor, chest between the hands, chins on the mat, bums in the air. As we inhale, sliding into cobra, pressing hips down, lifting shoulders. As we exhale, tucking toes and lifting hips, downward facing dog. Looking between the hands as we inhale, stepping the left foot between the hands. Exhaling, right foot between the hands. Inhaling, pressing down through the heels, reaching through the whole of your body. Exhaling, returning to Tadasana, mountain pose. Last round, breathing in. As we exhale, the hands come together. Last time, reaching through the whole of your body, reaching through the fingers, pressing down through the heels. As we exhale, swan dive to a forward fold, hands on the floor. Stepping or jumping back into a plank. Half press up, chaturanga. Nice and low to your mat, elbows close into the body and holding here. So pressing down through the hands, pressing back through the heels, hovering above your mats, engaging your core. 3 more breaths. As we inhale, coming through into upward facing dog. So pressing down on the tops of the feet, lift the knees, lift the hips, pull the chest through the arms, pressing down through the palms. Shoulder blades coming in nice and close behind you, breathing into the back bend. Pressing harder on the feet, pressing harder on the hands. Eyes of your elbows facing forwards as you draw shoulder blades further backwards, breathing through the belly, breathing through the spine. One more breath. As we exhale, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. So in your downward facing dog, bring your left foot more central to your mat and then lifting the right leg as high as you can up in the air. So just lifting the foot, not lifting the hip. So pressing away through both of your heels, pulling your head through your arms towards your left knee, towards the back of your mats. Breathing here, pushing the floor away. And then bending the right knee. As we exhale, bring the right knee to tapping the right elbow. As we inhale, taking the right leg back up. As we exhale, right knee to the left elbow, across the body. Inhaling, taking the right leg back up. As we exhale, pulling the right knee through the arms, so shoulders coming over the wrists, pulling that right leg into the body. Feel your abdominals working. And then stepping the right foot between the hands. Dropping the left knee to the floor, top of the left foot on the mat. As we inhale, reaching up to the ceiling. As we exhale, crescent moon lunge. Really opening through the body, sending the hips forward, screwing your hips to the front of your mat, pressing down through the right heel, looking forwards or up between the hands. 3 more breaths. Inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, folding forwards. Hands on the floor on the inside of your right leg. Dropping your shoulders as low as you can. Lizard bind. Right arm under the right thigh, hand onto the lower back. Left hand behind the back, holding the hands, squeezing the arms, pulling the bind as tight as you can. Pressing down through the right heel. Option to tuck your left toes and straighten your left leg. And then breathing here. Two more breaths. And then placing both hands back on your mats, keeping the left knee high if it's already high. If not, tuck the left toes, straighten the left leg. Bringing the right hand to the heart and then twisting on the spine, taking the chest up towards the ceiling, releasing the right hand, reaching through the right arm, opening through the chest, opening through the arms, and then maybe wrapping the right arm behind the back, resting your right fingers on the left hip as you draw the right shoulder blade further around behind you, twisting more on the spine. As you do this, make sure you're pressing back through the left heel and pulling the right knee back in towards you, keeping that right knee from moving to the right side of your mats. One more breath. As we inhale, the right hand reaches up. As we exhale, bring the right hand behind us, reaching for the back of the room. As we inhale, the right hand reaches forwards, both hands reaching up towards the ceiling, coming into a high lunge. So feet facing the same direction, left knee nice and high, pressing down through the right heel, pushing back through the left heel. Deep breath in. As we exhale, folding forwards. Hands on the floor either side of the right leg, and then straightening both of your legs. Pushing away through the right heel, pressing back through the left heel. Draw the right hip further backwards, walk your hands away from you, lengthen through the spine, and then folding long over the right leg, trying to bring your forehead towards the knee, towards the shin. Using every breath, staying strong in the legs. Straightening both legs as much as you can without locking the knees in. Again, drawing the right hip further backwards, lengthening through the spine, walking the hands further away from you. One more breath. And then stepping your left foot halfway up your mats. So now both feet are nice and planted down. Lengthen through the spine, bring your shoulders in line with your hips, and then either palms together between your shoulder blades or just holding onto your elbows. As you press away through the right foot, lengthening through the spine, again, keeping your shoulders in line with your hips so the upper body is parallel to the floor, just lengthening through the crown of your head, drawing your elbows as high as you can, so you're opening through the chest and breathing here. Keeping the legs strong, keeping the elbows high, keeping the breathing deep. One more breath. And then forward fold, stepping the left foot further forwards, bring the feet together, big toes touching, small gap between the heels, and then bring the forehead towards the knees, towards the shins. Every exhale, softening through the spine, hanging out of the hips, and then just stepping the left foot over the right foot, so crossing the legs. Try and bring the pinky toes to touching, and then again, as you fold forwards, trying to bring your forehead
towards that front knee, towards the left knee. That back standing leg is going to want to feel like it wants to lock in. Try and stop it from doing so. Keep the knee soft, keep the knee bent. Three more breaths. And then stepping the left foot back, coming back into downward facing dog. Option to rest, freestyle, otherwise vinyasa with your breath. Plank press up dog, coming back into down dog. Then bring your right foot more central to your mat, lifting the left leg as high as you can, pushing back through the heel, pressing down through the right heel. Again, lifting your leg as high as you can without lifting the left hip. Nice and strong in the arms, pushing away through the heels, pressing away through the hands. Deep breaths, listening to your breathing, and then bending the left knee, bringing the left knee to tap in the left elbow, shoulders coming over the wrists, inhaling, taking the left leg back up. As we exhale, left knee to the right elbow, across the body, inhaling, taking the left leg back up. As we exhale, pulling the left knee through the arms, shoulders coming over the wrists, left leg tucked into the body, feel your abdominals. And then stepping the left foot between the hands, dropping the right knee to the floor, top of the right foot on the mat. As we inhale, reaching up, as we exhale, crescent moon. Again, using every breath, dropping deeper into the hips as we exhale. Every inhale, more length through the spine, reaching through the arms, and then drawing the arms behind the head, maybe looking up to the ceiling or for the wall behind us. Last breath. Inhaling, reaching up, exhaling, folding forwards. Hands on the floor on the inside of your left leg. So dropping the shoulders as low as you can, setting up for a lizard bind. Left arm under the thigh, hand on the lower back. Right hand behind the back, holding the hands, squeezing the arms, pressing down through the left heel. And then the choice option of tucking the right toes and straightening the right leg. If you're lifting the right knee, make sure the right hip doesn't lift too much. Try and keep your hips level to the floor. So keeping the right hip nice and low, pressing back through the right heel, pressing down through the left heel. Two more breaths. And then placing both hands back onto your mats on the inside of the left foot. If the right knee is high, keep it high. If not, tuck the right toes, straighten the right leg. Bring the left hand to the heart and then twisting on the spine, looking up towards the ceiling. So really pulling the chest up towards the sky and then releasing the left hand, opening through the arms, opening through the chest, looking to your left fingers and then maybe wrapping the left arm behind the back, resting your left fingers on your right hip, pulling the left knee back underneath you, pressing back through the right heel, pushing away through the right arm. Use every breath. Deep breaths. Two more breaths. As we inhale, the left hand reaches up. As we exhale, reaching to the back of the room. As we inhale, bring the left hand forwards, taking both hands up towards the ceiling, coming to a high lunge. So, pressing down through the left heel, pushing back through the right heel, hip squares at the front of your mats, nice and strong in the legs, Hands reaching up to the ceiling. 2 more breaths. And then folding forwards. Hands on the floor, either side of the left leg. And then straightening the left leg, straightening both legs. So pushing away with your left heel, pressing back through the right heel. Legs as straight as they can be without locking the knees in. Tilt from the pelvis, walk your hands away from you. And then folding long from the hips through the spine, down the left leg. Every exhale, squeeze the belly in. Belly button coming in towards the spine. Every inhale, deep belly breath, breathing in through the nose. Again, we're just trying to straighten both legs as much as possible. Nice and strong in the legs, but not locking the knees in. Every few breaths, maybe walking the hands further away. Coming out of the hips, through the spine, down the left leg. 1 more breath. And then stepping your right foot halfway up your mats. So both feet nice and planted down. Lengthening through the spine. Shoulders in line with the hips. And then legs nice and straight. Either palms together between the shoulder blades or holding onto your elbows. Lifting the elbows, opening through the chest, lengthening through the spine. Two more breaths. Lengthening through the crown of the head, keeping the elbows nice and high. And then placing your hands back on your mats, stepping the feet together, coming to a forward fold. So big toes together, small gap between the heels, grabbing the hold of your elbows, and for a few and for a few breaths, just hanging out of the hips, breathing into whatever you're feeling, breathing space between every vertebrae as you lengthen through the spine. And with the hands on the floor, stepping the right foot over the left foot, crossing the legs. Try and have pinky toes touching. Make sure the back leg isn't locking the knee in. And then again, just hanging out of the hips, bringing your forehead to the front knee. Breathing in here. Few more breaths. Two more breaths. Really hanging your weight out of the hips. Work with gravity. Let it do the work for you. And then step the right foot back, coming back into your downward facing dog. And then rest, freestyle, otherwise vinyasa. Inhaling to a plank, exhaling to a press up, inhaling into up dog, exhaling into down dog. And then hop, step or jump the feet, coming to Malasana. Deep yogi squats. So getting nice and settled, staying as you are. Otherwise, bringing both hands above your right knee, elbows are hovering, walking the left foot over towards the right foot, finding the balance, and then straightening the left leg out in front of you. You can hold on to the left toes if that helps with the balance. If you're struggling in your pistol squat, feel free to bring your hands either side of you to help you balance. But otherwise, holding for 3 more breaths as you lock the left knee in, pushing through the left heel. And then stepping your left foot back, coming back to Malasana. Deep yogi squats. and then going the other way. So both arms over that left knee, walking the right foot over, straightening the right leg out. Again, either holding the toes or hands on the floor, just holding the balance here as you lock the right knee in. Two more breaths. And then coming back to Malasana, deep yogi squats. And then from here, just gently placing your bums onto your mats. And then bringing the soles of the feet together. So grabbing a hold of the toes. Bring your heels and your hips as close as you can bring them. Lengthening through the spine. Really lengthen through the spine, through the crown of your head as you draw both of your shoulders backwards. And then pulling on the feet, start pulling your chest, your chin, towards the front of the room. So cobbler's pose, as we slowly start lowering down, using the strength of our arms, keeping the shoulder blades drawing backwards. So we're trying to keep that back nice and flat for as long as we can. And every exhale, getting lower and lower, starting to use our elbows to press down on the thighs and open the hips wider. So this is the main focus in our cobbler's pose. If we can maintain this work that we're feeling here, then as we exhale, rounding the spine, bring the forehead to touching the toes. But the main focus is using the arms to press down on the thighs, keep opening the hips wider and wider. Using every breath. Deep inhales, breathing all the way down to your hips, your thighs, your pelvis. As you exhale, squeezing the breath out of the body. Two more breaths. Pulling yourselves deeper, use the strength of your arms. And slowly, gently lifting off, calming up. And then grabbing a hold of your heels, grabbing your feet from the inside and picking your feet up off the floor. So long through the spine, drawing your shoulder blades backwards, lengthening through the spine, keeping the feet off the floor. Deep breath in as we exhale, extending through the right leg. So you're pushing through the right heel, trying to lock the right knee in. So as you push your right heel, you can lock the right knee. There's no weight on the leg, so no risk on the joint. If you're shaking, that's a good sign. Two different sets of nerve endings communicating with each other. Bring the right heel back in, extend through the left leg, pushing through the left heel. So if you're shaking, you have two sets of nerve endings talking to one another. One is saying, it's not safe, don't go any further. That is the more unconscious nerves. And the other set saying, no, we can do this, pushing through it. That's the more conscious action. So deep breath in as we exhale, straightening both legs, pushing through both heels. So over time, your more conscious nerves that are saying to push through and go further will override the unconscious nerves, and you will eventually manage to go deeper into this posture without any shaking. Two more breaths. And then dropping the legs nice and wide. So, legs are as wide as they can be. Push yourselves a bit further forward just to really get deeper into the hips. And as you push away through both of your heels, pull both sets of toes back towards you. Hands on the floor behind you, and then use your arms to push yourselves forwards. So you, just like in cobbler's pose, you want to feel that you're coming forwards from the hips, from the pelvis. If you can't feel that, then just try and continue working in this area with the hands on the floor behind you. If you're feeling the work here, and if you can maintain it, then bring your hands in front of you and just looking to bring your belly and your chest towards the floor. So eventually, maybe one day, completely flat on your mats. But otherwise, just keep reaching the hands further forwards and use your body weight to pull you through the hips towards the front of your mats. And again, keep the legs nice and active, breathing here. If you cannot feel the work in the hips and the pelvis with the hands further forwards, then keep working with the hands on the floor behind you. But another option is to grab the insides of your feet and pull yourselves forwards this way. So using the strength of your arms to keep you coming forwards, again from the hips, through the spine, towards the floor. Few more breaths. Nice and strong in the arms. Keep breathing down to your hips, your thighs, your pelvis. Two more breaths. And then releasing, easing off, calming up. Bringing the soles of the feet together. But now have a nice diamond shape in the legs, so have your feet quite far away from you. And then lengthening through the spine, hands on the back of the head, just pull your chin into your chest. So keeping the spine long, just opening through the back of the neck. Feel the back of the neck lengthening, opening. And just breathing here, the weight of your arms pulling on your head to try and open between the shoulder blades and the back of the neck even more. Few more breaths, deep belly breathing. And then start allowing the weight of your head to pull yourselves forwards. So keeping the chin in contact with the chest. Only going as far as you can with the chin still on the chest. Just rolling through the spine. So crown of the head coming towards your mats, in between your legs. And if you manage to get nice and low to your mats, bring your arms under your legs, hands resting on the tops of your feet, and then using the strength of your arms to pull the crown of your head closer to the floor as you breathe in here. Few more breaths. Every exhale, pulling yourselves deeper. Trying to bring the crown of your head towards the floor. And then gently releasing, calming up. Bringing the left foot under the right leg, to the outside of your right bum. And then bringing the right leg over the top, whole sole of your right foot on the floor, lengthening through the spine, wrapping the left arm around the right leg, placing the right hand onto the floor behind you. Inhale for length as we exhale, pulling on the leg, twisting the spine, looking behind. So you use the strength of your left arm, pulling that right knee tighter into the body as you twist more on the spine, using the right arm as a scaffolding close to the base of the spine. As you exhale, twisting further, taking the chin further round. Two more breaths. And releasing, facing forwards. The left hand grabs the outside of the right foot and then pick the right foot off of the floor. The right arm comes on the inside of the right leg. Now you're trying to pick the right leg as high up the right arm as you can, so you're almost getting your right leg onto the right shoulder. Placing your right hand onto the floor beside you. Deep breath in as we exhale, straightening through the right leg to come into compass pose. So you're pushing through the right heel, coming underneath the left armpit, pushing off the right leg, twisting on the spine, and again trying to lock the right knee in. If you manage to lock the knee in, super. If your leg is shaking, again that's a good sign, you're working hard. But otherwise, just going as far into this posture as you can, and then working there. Deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose. Every exhale, see if you can push a bit deeper, twist and pull a bit more. And then releasing, easing off. Keeping the right leg high up the arm. So turn your right hand to face forwards, fingers pointing towards the front of the room. Placing the left hand onto the floor beside you. Have your hands quite close to you, so your strength can press down rather than away. And then bring the left foot on top of the right foot, hooking the feet, and then picking the bum off the floor. Continue working here. Otherwise, coming into 8-limb yoga pose. So you bring your shoulders forwards, bending at the elbows, and bring the legs off to the right side of the room. And then gently making your way back onto your mats. And now bringing the right foot underneath the left leg, to the outside of the left bum, and then bring the left foot over the right leg. Bring the whole sole of your left foot onto the floor, lengthening through the spine, wrapping your right arm around the left leg, placing the left hand on the floor behind you, lengthening through the spine as you inhale, as you exhale, twisting on the spine, looking behind. Again, every exhale, pulling yourselves deeper, twisting more, looking behind, using the strength of your right arm, pulling on the left leg, pressing the left hand down on the floor behind you. Keep taking the left shoulder blade further around as you follow with the chin. Every exhale, the opportunity to twist a bit more, take it further behind, further round. One more breath. And then easing off, facing forwards. The right hand grabs the outside of the left foot and picking the left foot up. Left arm on the inside of the left leg. Getting the left leg high up the left arm, trying to get it almost onto your shoulder. Bringing the left hand onto the floor beside you. Spread the fingers nice and wide, and then straightening through the left leg, trying to lock the left knee in as you come under the right armpit, coming to compass pose. Again, just going as far as you can, as much as possible, trying to straighten the left leg, keeping the breath nice and strong. Every exhale, maybe push a bit harder, try and get us a little bit deeper, getting closer to straightening the left leg or getting more underneath the right arm. Trying not to have the spine out of alignment, so eventually the final form of this posture is a nice straight spine, the right arm comfortably behind the head. 2 more breaths. And then easing off, keeping the left leg high at the left arm, turning your left fingers to point forwards, and then placing your right hand on the floor beside you. So again, keeping that left arm like a shelf for your left leg, hooking the right foot on top of the left foot, hooking the feet together, and then picking the bum up off the floor, maybe holding here, otherwise 8-limb yoga pose. Bring the elbows forward, backwards, bring the shoulders forwards, and bring the legs off to the left side of your mats. And then gently placing your bums back onto your mats. And then straightening both legs out in front of you. Pull the knees for your bums so your sitting bones are facing backwards. Inhaling up out of the hips as we exhale, folding nice and long, grabbing hold of your toes, of your ankles, of your shins, wherever you can hold on to. Keeping your legs nice and straight, pulling yourselves from the hips, through the spine, down the legs. Use every breath. Strong in your abdominals, aggressive breathing, massaging internal organs. Give them a squeeze. Help your digestive system shift everything around. Few more breaths. And easing off, calming up, coming out. And then just making your way into Shavasana, final relaxation. So coming down to laying on your mats, lying on your backs. Get yourselves nice and comfortable, spread yourselves out. And then just coming into stillness. Finding stillness in your body. And then finding the stillness in your mind. Remember, try and bring every vertebrae in your spine to make contact with your mats. And once you've found contact as much as possible, then releasing, letting everything go. Nothing left to do. Letting go of control of your breath. Just breathing normally, breathing naturally. Settling back into your body as it is. You've done the work. Now have the rest. Give your body this chance to rest, prepare, relax. Just a moment, an opportunity to give yourself some time as you lay in the stillness, watching your breathing, just focus on your breath.
Your breath requires no thoughts, just observation. So just give yourselves a few more minutes. Still body, quiet mind. And then breathing deeply. Getting ready to move. Wiggling fingers and toes. Rotating wrists and ankles. And then moving any way that feels good for you. Moving how your body wants to move. Any other ways of moving that your body is still calling out for. And when you're ready, making your way to sitting on your mats. So thank you very much for sharing this practice with me. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.